Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for a video where I share how I've set up the month of March in my pocket-size bullet journal. This is a Hobonichi A6 plain notebook, which I had cut down to pocket size at Staples. This is a sticker from Eureka Art Studio, and these labels were made for me by a friend using her Dymo label maker. I have videos sharing my January and February setups, which were basically identical. When I find something that works for me, I tend to stick with it until I feel the need for a change. And coming into March, I did feel that need. I've been feeling a little bit off in February, and that tends to bleed over into my planning and journaling. For me, that means I'm just not as eager to get into my setups, and things feel like they take a lot more effort, even if it's something very basic like drawing, the line for the next day's bullet journal page. When I thought about how I wanted to set up March, I knew that I wanted to do as much of the legwork ahead of time so that I could just go in and use this and have it be ready for me. So I will walk you through the changes that I've made. This is a vellum from Mrs. Brimbles' Etsy shop. You might remember my February vellum. They are very similar. This one has the green swatches and what I assume are the color names. March is my birthday month and green is my favorite color, so I was really happy to be able to incorporate that. This is a washi tape by MT, and I've put the monthly script sticker right on the vellum this month. This is by Allycat's shop. I've laid down a quote sticker from the Happy Planner Homebody sticker book. And heading into March, we're still in lockdown, and I feel very blessed to be with my loved ones. These next few pages haven't changed. This is the monthly freebie printable from Peanuts Planner Co.'s Facebook group. I will leave her Instagram down below, and she does have links in her bio. These are some of the washi tapes I've pulled for the month. So these branches are also by MT, and this is by Note and Wish. You'll notice that I haven't filled in any of my appointments or anything yet, and that's because I plan to do some of that on camera with you guys. So I will walk through the layouts first, and then I will come back. Here we have my monthly task list and my Calendex. I like to highlight the weekends, and I chose the wrong Tombow to do that with. I like it a lot more subtle. So I just went ahead and switched that, and it just makes me laugh. I've actually made a couple of mistakes in here, which I'll point out, and it's not meant to be perfect. This is my printable from 3 Years Apart, and I've included some stickers from Swatelier. This is beautiful. I love these warm neutrals. It's the Vlog Home set. I put this party banner here because it's my birthday, and then I also included this girl, which I feel like this is another really accurate sticker representation of me, and it'll be a quiet birthday at home, and I'm okay with that. Then we move into my weeklies where we'll see the biggest change. You might remember from previous months that I was using a horizontal spread, and this was inspired by a Peanuts Planner Co. insert. Last year I was using this same spread but doing gratitude on the right-hand page, but that changed in 2021 because gratitude moved to my cousin. I wasn't sure how I would like having 2 weeks on one spread, if that would be a little bit busy for me, and it was, but just overall I didn't find myself using this in a very functional way. So I thought this would be a good time to try something new. When I was brainstorming what that might look like, I did take into account the fact that I prefer the vertical layout. I can work just fine with a horizontal one, but my brain tends to process this better or just easier. I tried a few different things, and this is what I ended up with. So I have my days of the week across the top, and Sunday is at the bottom here. I don't like to split my weekends, that's a personal preference. So this is a little strange to me, but I do like that the weekend is stacked and it still seems like that one block of time. So I will see how this works for me. For my task list, I decided to go back to a rolling weekly, which is something that I did and enjoyed last year. So I will just do my dot for the task here and write the task, and then I will mark the days that I work it on. If you're not familiar with a rolling weekly, I first heard about it from Elizabeth at Plant-Based Bride, so I will link her video up above. It's really helpful. The plan for this space is to put a focus for the week, or I might do a doodle or a quote. That's why, even though I did the highlight for the heading, I haven't written anything here yet. I do think this could change from week to week, so I will fill it in as I go. I did think about trying a different layout every week to see kind of what worked for me and what didn't, but I know myself and I need to try this for at least a month to see if this works for me. So that is what I've done. So week 10, 11, and there we go. That says 13. It's supposed to say 12. And 13. So when I come to the end of the month, I just like to fill in next month's dates with a gray pen so that they're there in case I need to future plan, but they fade into the background and I realize that's not the current month. Just going to go ahead and white this out now because otherwise I will probably forget. The best laid plans. One of the other things that was funny is I started off with kind of my lines being even with where I wanted to write the dates. Even here, and then on this side, I don't know if you can see kind of the shine from the whiteout, but I started the lines higher, and then because I was lining it up through, these lines are, you know, even taller, and then these lines at the very end were all the way up to the top. So it was like some weird broken planner layout game of telephone. One good thing though is that I found out that I do like the lines starting the one space higher, so I know that for next time. I'll just quickly go over what I used to create these spreads. I used the Le Pen Technical Drawing Pen in the 0.1 for my titles, the 0.05 for the days of the week and the dates, and for the week dates in the top right corner, I used the Uni Jetstream Edge in the 0.28. The lines here are all done with my Tombow N79, which is the warm gray 2. Once I figured out the layout, it was really important to me to plan how I wanted to use this so that it will hopefully be functional for me. Because I have a lot more space now, and I am a lister, so I love the vertical space. That's probably why I prefer vertical layouts overall. But I do want to kind of have blocks for the different things I want to keep track of in here. So this top, I just put a circle for event, so any events will go here, any appointments here, any social media tracking will go here. And I do want to keep track of daily spending. And for some reason, I just never remember to do it on my bullet journal dailies, so I'm going to give that a try here as well. I'm going to go through probably and write the $sign on every day because I want to fill it in, even if it's hopefully $0. But these other ones, I'm not going to bother doing the icons unless it applies. Guys, I just wrote 13 again. Oh boy. I'm just going to put this here so that it hopefully doesn't smudge too badly. And this one is 13. Then we come here to my March palette, which is one of my favorites so far. This green Tombow number 228 was fully inspired by Lindsay's scribbles. This is the gray green, and I love that it's a more neutral green. Then, of course, I chose my washi tapes to go with it. So this is by Note and Wish, MT, Paper Geek Co., Note and Wish. I ordered it from Fairy Milk Bar sometime last year. I will link her shop, but her items are always rotating. Note and Wish and MT. And the last thing that I decided to do for this month is to go ahead and prep all of my daily pages. I know now from experience that I've never needed to use more than one page for my dailies, and even if that were the case, I could just go to the end of the month and use the empty space there. So I'm very, very comfortable with this. I've been using the Uni Jetstream in the 0.7 for the last couple of weeks and really enjoying it. So that's what I used to set these up. So I've just set this up the way that I usually do. I've written the number, I've hand lettered the day, I freehand this line, but I do use a ruler to break up the signifier and the task. So I don't need to go through all of these with you, but you know, it does go to 31. And then I will do all of my notes, collections, anything that comes up will be back here. I've done this before. I did this last September for the same reason. I was just feeling kind of underwhelmed and I wanted to make this as easy as possible for myself. If I had to choose, I do prefer to have my notes usually embedded throughout the dailies, but this is a very small trade-off to having this all set up for me and ready to go. And because it's all set up, I did figure I could go ahead and actually do some planning with you guys so that you see a little bit of how my monthly process goes. The first thing I do is I open my phone calendar and I make sure everything's transferred into my future log, which it was. This is just where I have future video plans, so I've, very cleanly blocked it off there. In here, I like to include birthdays, special events, holidays, and appointments. So I am going to use the Jetstream in the 0.5 for that because this is a smaller space and it does have the color codes that I use, red for me, blue for Paul. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in. I did forget to put this one in, I'm realizing, so I need to find the time for that still. Okay, perfect. Then I do leave this space on the side so that I can put anything there as well. So here I don't actually write anyone's name when it comes to the birthdays. I just do my signifier, which is this present. And that way I know it's somebody's birthday and I'd like to, reach out, send them a message. The appointments, I will write the time. So I do the triangles and then I fill them in once the appointment is complete. Now this is the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and write the $sign just for this first week because I do want to give it a fair shot, but also see how it goes. Ooh, I didn't count out to these ones. Where's my pencil? Okay, so we've got a birthday here. I have stickers, but I would prefer to use those on my dailies, I'm realizing. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that same key. That's week 1. Okay, so that's it for the weeklies. I think I'm going to like having the different sections for the different elements. I find that I'm such a creature of habit and routine. My eye will automatically start going to the exact same spot to look for certain things. So always look at the top for birthdays. At least I kind of hope that's how it works out. We'll see. And then I'm just going to go ahead and plug things into my dailies. This isn't usually a step that I take because I go day to day, but because it is already set up, I'm just going to go ahead and have fun with it. I'm going to use these stickers from Planner Monkey Co. to mark the birthdays. I'm gonna switch pens here. I do notice with the 0.7 that I do tend to smear it sometimes, but that's okay. I like the fact that it's darker because it's a thicker line. And I notice that it makes my writing look a little different, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it both ways. I don't, like, my writing's my writing, but it's fun to change things up every so often. And then for my appointments, this is a sticker book from Once More with Love. I just have this card in the front from Little Branches paper. I do like using these boxes. These are from Let's Planet, and these little watch reminders are by Paper Bits Co. So I really like those together to kind of make my appointment reminders. This is a lot of back and forth, but I do really enjoy the process, and it helps me remember what I have going on this month. I'm just going to use it from here today. So I did have a birthday on the 2nd here, but I don't feel the need to write it in the daily pages. Okay. Now that we've filled it in, I'll just do a quick flip. I have to get that time still. I don't think I will use this for anything. I used to use it for my video plans, but I do that in the future log now. I like how these stand out just enough, but don't take up a ton of space. As I'm flipping through, I'm really hoping all these dates are correct. And I will put a sticky tab with washi tape probably to mark where my notes start, just so that it's easy to flip to whenever I need to. The last thing I'll do is put this in the cover that I've chosen for March. I do have a new cover on the way as a birthday gift, but I don't know when it's coming, so I'll have to save that. And I've actually pulled out this Chic Sparrow Maverick. This is pretty old. I've had it for well over a year, maybe almost 2. This is the Maverick Classic with the stitching. I still had the option to get deluxe at this time, but I did not. And I'm glad. I haven't used this at all, I don't think. I think I carried it in my purse for a little while, just with like a little notes book, but I haven't used it for a full month or anything. And that's just because I was really into pockets, and I still am. I love setups with pockets, but the simplicity of this is really calling to me. I still have to work on breaking in the spine a little bit more, but that's something I can do this month. I've shown this in the past, but this is how I use my bound books on Traveler's Notebook strings. I followed a tutorial that Sarah Martinez did, so I will link that video up above, but basically it just slides onto the string. And then there's the pocket for the back cover. I think mine could have been a little bit shorter so that it was slightly tighter, but it does not bother me enough to make a new one, and it's pretty secure. I will also just throw this in here. I've actually been leaving this on my desk more often than not lately because I'm not really going anywhere to take this with me, but you can see they fit really nicely in there together. There's no pen loop, but with the elastic, I'm just going to slide it in like that. And there we have my March setup. I'm really looking forward to getting into this new setup and seeing how it works for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.